Hello, hello, hello. The Red Pill here with the Red Pill News Dispensary. Well, a couple days have gone by, and the one thing about YouTube that kind of blows my mind, and it seems like notifications aren't going out. I don't know if you got a notification. Let me know. Actually, it's starting to go up. Maybe they just went out. But anyways, one thing that kind of blows my mind on YouTube is that you put so much work into a video and then it's out there, right? And it's only watched really that day and the day after. After that, you might get like couple views, so it's easy to forget like vital information that's been presented. And I was gonna put together like a all different clips. I was gonna maybe even ask my fool for permission for some of the stuff I said on his show. I don't know. I'll ask him, but we have enough here at the Red Pills, all these clips that it'd be good to do. But I want to kind of revisit some things that are going on that we're not exactly revisiting because it is right now the breaking news of the day that we're talking about. So, but we're going to, as we go through the breaking news, we've been right on. There's been this silent war going on. There's a couple things that surprised me. We're going to be talking about Russia. We're going to be talking about their submarine. We're going to be talking about what their submarine potentially did. We're going to be talking about not just cutting ends over there, but cutting ends on the other side, where they refused to sell Iran that missile defense system that I say is the litmus test to the allies of Russia, which they refused to sell to them. And the reason is that they have an upcoming meeting with Israel, Russia. So, to sell their number one enemies that missile defense system would not look good for the meeting. But we're going to look into all this. I have the best articles, I kind of went through them and found the best ones. Like, there was a couple from CNN that just totally didn't even touch on some very crucial points. I like doing like a 360 view, kind of showing all different sides, and even like the Russian side, there's nuggets of truth there. So we're gonna go through some of this stuff right now. So first of all, for the first time publicly, we have I hope the time's like behind. Okay, for the first time publicly, we have some allies stepping up in our defense. Now, we did read about, however, how the Saudis, with American help, negotiated the return of what one of the in Libya right now. It's almost like two forces going at it. One of the forces, probably the better two forces actually, no, maybe even the worst. I remember they were the more radical group. They released him, probably for money, whatever. Supposed to be a Portuguese national, gave a Portuguese name, tough guy. We talked about it on this channel. U.S. Air Force. If you guys want to see that, it's which video was that? That was probably 3 or 4 videos ago. I wish I can give you the name. Maybe I'll put it in the description. But anyways, so he's all beat up. Turns out he's a U.S. Navy veteran, and he was flying out of the UAE, which is exactly the information we gave you way back when we were first talking about the tanker, or even before the tanker, just the potential of something happening. We were talking about, and then when the drone got hit, we were talking about how that drone took off in UAE. There's something going on there, and you never heard anyone really keep blaming Russia. They kind of let that go because they know there was more to that story. Same thing with the sub story. I think that there's a lot more going to into it. But it makes me question, what is the real relationship between Russia and Iran? I mean, you got to think of their interests. Well, Russia's interests are a lot in Iran, but their interests are not the world versus Iran. You know, that kind of puts them in the predicament. And all of a sudden, it's like throwing the hot potato on them. It's always on us. I don't know. So let's go through some of these stories. I got some good stories for you here. And as we read through them, I'll remember things that we've talked about in the past. And if you're a regular viewer, you'll remember everything. But regardless, it'll all be news to you. So first off, let's start off. Britain sees the Iranian oil tanker headed to Syria, which is against the rules that have been laid out by the U.S. Infurious Tehran summons British ambassador over destructive action. So, you know, they always talk tough. I don't know. They don't really do nothing. Iranian leaders have summoned the British ambassador to Tehran. Fumes over British Thursday seizure of an Iranian tanker believed to be violent. You know what? Let me give you guys full screen. Sorry about that. Oh, you have full screen. Okay, good. Right? Let me just make sure. No, I don't think you do. Let me see. You got full screen? No, you do not. I don't know if you want it so I'm in the corner, but probably not, right? You just want it full screen, so. You know, it doesn't have to be my face all the time, you know? Alright, so I'll do it full screen. I'll try to check in on chat. One thing I noticed is that I need to do better at is checking in on chat. So I'll try to check in here and there. Okay, it's just I'm reading stories. It's tough, you know. I'd have to close a window and open a window. Anyways, let's go. So we were able here. I'll start over. Iranian leaders have summoned the British ambassador as Tehran fumes over Britain's Thursday seizure of an Iranian tanker believed to be violating the EU sanctions by providing crude oil to the Syrian regime. British Royal Marines supported the authorities in Gibraltar in taking the vessel amid evidence that it was trying to circumvent the EU sanctions on the Syrian regime. A senior Spanish official said the operation was requested by the United States. Iran warns Europe it will take next step to enrich uranium to weapons-grade labor if new deal isn't reached. Basically, what Iran's doing right now, and I even seen their president. Maybe we'll pull up the video. We'll get to it after. It's pretty. I think it's pretty interesting what he's trying to do, and how he's trying to do it, and why. We'll go through that, and some of that will be opinion. What's opinion? I'll let you know. Anything else? It's basically fact. You know, with the chance of deep state being behind certain things instead of how I read them. There's always that chance. Okay, or some other faction. The Iranian vessel was believed to be headed to the Banias refinery in Syria, a government-owned facility under the control of Syrian regime President Bashar Assad, and subject to the EU Syrian sanctions regime. The Iranian state news agency called the situation an illegal seizure of an Iranian oil tanker, while an Iranian foreign ministry spokesman called the actions a form of piracy, prompting the UK's foreign office to dismiss the claims as nonsense. I like how UK, like, even back in World War II, like, their, like, responses to, like, these long-winded or, like, thought-out plans are just, like, yeah, you know, have your tea and like it too, you know. It's like they don't, they do their thing. They have great intelligence agencies. I like how Britain's like that, and I'm happy that Britain's stepping up. Iranian foreign ministry spokesman about, well, we don't want a war. It's just, you know, you do have to, you know, any kind of aggression towards you, you need to kind of let them know, and what we're doing is we're really killing them financially, which is what I'm going to get into when we go over the president's video of Iran. So the spokesman Abbas Mousavi wrote in a tweet that British Ambassador Rob McCarr was summoned over the illegal interception of the ship, and that later that the seizure was odd and destructive. So basically, you're gonna hear one thing from one side, another thing from the other side, right? American allies will continue to prevent regime in Tehran and Damascus from profiting off this illicit trade. It carried only oil, was 2 million barrels. The Iranian regime also shut down American drone, prompting Trump, Okay, so they did do that, but it's more the oil tanker that. Okay, so that's one. That's the help coming in. Now we are going to talk about Iran, and basically Russia's. All of a sudden, they've showed so much support for Iran. In Syria, they've kind of been their like backup. I think that Iran has been taking advantage of some Russian cyber capability, although Iran does have their own. We know we've been reporting a cyber war with Russia and Iran for a long time, and China. The whole world's basically at a cyber war at some level, but I mean a legit, like all hands on deck cyber war going on right now, which was just announced 2 days ago. But we've been talking about it for weeks here, and it's been very interesting, and I think it's been going on for years. I know it's been going on for years. Let's just say that. So let's see. So now we got this right here. Oh no, do I still have the music playing? I hope not. I would just mess up this whole video. I should have looked at chat. Do I have the... I don't, right? Or it was before. Let me check on chat before I continue, because I'm gonna get into some crazy stuff here. That was the bread. Here comes the mustard. Alright, so wait, where are we here? Okay. Let me get to the chat. Let's see what's up with chat. How you doing, guys? Let's see what we got here. We got Patriot first in the house. Hey, how you doing? Great mod. All right, thank you, Prep for Life. I appreciate that. Oh, you did get it. Oh yeah, that's good. Jan Free, music. Yep. So I was still when I was talking, the music's still on. Yep. I keep making that mistake. Either I forget to hit mute. First, it's supposed to start with just the music, and and then after like I don't know, a minute, I'll stop the music and start the show. I'm working on the intro too, maybe instead of the music, but just the music will match what the content is. Hello, Einstein's mom. Good to see you, Scott Smith. I am glad that we do some kind of action back. That doesn't mean war. Britain sees. I'm just happy to see that Britain is at least there for us in a war. But of course, I'm not glad to see any progression in war. I'm not glad to see. But if that progression is a small thing, really, in the big scheme of things, like we're talking the bigger country, we're not worried about Iran. Come on, we're worried about different countries getting involved. So, any kind of war is bad, though. So, no, to answer you, Scott Smith, no, I'm not happy about any progression in war, because all that's do is furthering the agenda of the people that we're against. And I'm not going to say they, I'm going to name them. We know who they are. It's a Kabbalah. That's not to say that all, but then you say that and people think you mean that against all. No, just the fake ones. You guys know what I'm talking about. So to answer your question, no, okay, I'm not glad. But yes, I am glad that there is a public support for the first time. Alright, although we knew Saudi was doing stuff behind, so we know the Saudis got our back. There's so many shared interests that it's like a given. And Britain, we would expect it, and they showed it. Good. Because the rest of Europe didn't. The rest of Europe basically spit in our face. Alright, so let's continue. I read the chat. Alright, hi Mark Knott. Long time no talk. Okay, so I hope everything's okay with you, Mark Knott. I know it's a little bit south to you, but I know it's scary. I'm also going to be talking about that, of course. It's just, there's been some news coming up, and it matches what we've been talking about. I mean, Mark Knott knows better than anyone. She's been here for every show, and she does a great job of, she just does a great job. What she does speaks for itself. Okay, so now it's kind of funny to see this happening. Now, like I told you before, if you guys are just joining us, all right. First, I'll read the headline: Russian expert. Am I sharing correctly? Yes. Okay. Russia expert Mary Mirzayan. Dumping Iran would be mistaken, since Russia doesn't know what the U.S. will offer in return. So, basically, Russia refuses to sell Iran this S-400 missile system, which, I mean, if this is the first time you've watched my show, then basically I use that as a litmus test as to what side a country is on. And surprisingly, some of our past allies have been, instead of getting our missile defense system, are getting it from Russia, which tells you a lot. So countries like Turkey, Pakistan, India, one of our strongest. And by the way, two of the three nuclear capable, and the third, is very powerful and extremely strategically located, both for resources and military and kind of like a way in to the Middle East, as well as biblically. It's supposed to play a huge role. So, however, the reason I think that they're doing this is Russia is about to have a meeting with Iran. So, let me see, do I have that one up? We can pull that up, actually. We'll pull it up right now. Let me just throw in S-400, see if I can get a story where they actually, these people can put the pieces together, and I don't have to put it together for them. See, putting in the S-400 messed it up. Oh, I didn't put Israel. Sorry, guys. Well, what is this? This is breaking. But it's on the Jerusalem Post, so let's see. Take it with a grain of salt. Turkey announces you mother. I'm trying to stop with the swearing, guys, I really am. Especially with the baby getting older and understanding more. She'll say the word SHIT. I don't like it. Alright, Turkey announces trilateral summit on Syria with Russia and Iran. So basically it's going to be Turkey, Russia, and Iran. So trust me, they're still in cahoots. They just won't sell it to them because of what I was really looking for. So they're still in cahoots. You see that? They're going to have a summit in Syria. Why is it so freaking hard to find anything on Israel? Israel-Russia meeting. That's all I want to see. I'm on DuckDuckGo. You know. Yeah, do it like that. Israel. So this is why they have an upcoming meeting. This is, I'm pretty sure it hasn't happened yet. This is something to happen. I'm almost positive. Let me see. Oh, holy shit. So this already happened. Oh, you know what? At least this one did. I think there's still an upcoming meeting. And that's why they wouldn't sell the S400s. There's still an upcoming meeting. There's got to be something more. Unless I misunderstood and it already happened, and obviously it didn't go well past week. Wow, instead of a meeting, Russia's making it. So forget about this meeting crap. So Russia's announcing Israel behind Syria strikes, which they were. They also struck Libya. Then there was all kinds of stuff going on. Oh no, Libya struck a drone. Oh, there's so much. And then ISIS has declared war on Iran. Alright? ISIS thinks that Iran, they don't like the way that they do things. They don't go by Sharia law. They're not, they to the ISIS faith. Because I read that long story about ISIS that was written where you read it, you learned a lot about their ideology, and some of the stuff would blow your mind. It really would. Like for instance, do you know that at the end they expected that once they're down to their last forces, that Jesus on a horse would come and save them. They thought that was the ideology. Jesus would fight with them, but he's not the prophet at the same time. But he is an important figure that is anointed in some way and will fight with them, and they will overcome. So that's supposedly that, and then also as far as from rankings of like if they had all these people in the line, who would they behead first? Put it that way. I mean, that's how they're that savage. The first ones they would behead are other Muslims that don't follow Sharia law correctly, because they are informed of the law, whereas Westerners, we just may be uninformed in their eyes, uninformed. So the worst is if you do know, but you still go against it, and you actually follow Sharia law. So anyways, they declared war wherever they are. I mean, I would say that they're, I know that they're still following out and making attacks. It was an ISIS attack just not too long ago. Check it out. And plus I have more material. Kind of going off the story a little bit, but that's because I like doing it like this. We're kind of hunted down. So yeah, so ISIS attack. It was just one. South Korea, man. See, people are still trying to join, and plus, they're an idea more than they did lose their caliphate. That's a big deal, because you cannot be what they claim to be without a caliphate. So they still have their leader. So. ISIS claims responsibility for June attack at Tripoli. Things like that, So they're still making attacks. Something happened in he said he was the commander of ISIS, so this sounds like a guy was out of his mind in Israel. Israel cyber prevented airline bombing in multiple ISIS. So Israeli cyber has prevented multiple ISIS attacks. So it looks like ISIS is in the cyber game as well. It's kind of interesting that they, with Iran and U.S. being in a legit, Iran and the U.S. Openly, they finally admit it. We've been talking about it on the channel forever. U.S. Iran cyber war. I mean, they just finally like announced like, hey, it's on, you know. And it's not just Iran, of course, you know. Why the U.S. cyber attack on Iran was game-changing. I think this is important. This is the day when he supposedly called off to protect the 150 lives of the Iranians and instead hit them with a cyber attack that totally devastated their missile defense system and communications. What do you think hurts them worse? It's a chess game. And since then, there's been a cyber war, but it's really just them trying to respond, and we're kind of kicking their ass, and they're feeling cornered, and that's the truth. And I'm not saying that I want war, but they are, you know, or either that or they grow into something. We do need to contain them somehow and bring them to the table by squeezing them so hard that their economy is just nothing. We can do it without war. You know, cyber war, I don't mind that stuff. Taking down their stuff, yeah, that's great. Take down their comms, everything. You know? In fact, let's see, so, I think I just saw it here, actually. Oh. So Iran has made another ally. We already know Russia's still their ally, even though they didn't sell those S-400s. That was right before the Israeli meeting, which apparently did not go well. So it looks like it's like U.S., Israel, Britain, like that's what it would be, and the Saudis. Then there'd be more. The EU is like a wild card now. Like, what are they doing? It's unbelievable with the EU. It's because they're totally controlled by the globalists. They're controlled by the faction that are trying to make this war happen. I can't believe. I mean, France seems to be awake to it, and a lot of other countries are too, and they're electing leaders that are more like populists, like Trumpists, you know. So why is there so many pop-ups on this? This is crazy. This is like Forbes. Aren't they supposed to, like, you know, have more class than that? Alright. Cyber warfare. This was just announced 18 hours ago. Cyber warfare threat rises as Iran and China agree to a united front against U.S. So it's not just us. Like I said, we always knew it was never just against Iran. That I was thinking more so Russia and then, you know, China as well. But it looks like China is full out joining. So it makes you think. I thought that there were some indicators that there was going to be some type of agreement. But then gold starts going up, crypto starts going up, and you think, maybe not, maybe not. The Islamic Republic of Iran and China are standing in a united front, claimed Iran's ICT Minister Mohammad Javad Jahromi last week, to confront U.S. unilateralism and hegemony to the field of IT. For confront, read offensive actions, and for IoT, read cyber. So basically, offensive actions, U.S. unilateralism, and hegemony in the field of cyber. Jerome followed, you see how they put place these words instead. Jerome followed this with similar comments in Beijing. I like this, writers like this, they're kind of cool. In Beijing a few days later, when he met his opposite number, mile away, the ministers discussed common challenges in the face of U.S. unilateralism, of which Jahromi said, "We are facing similar challenges, so we need to find solutions." The Iranian minister accused the U.S. of spreading its hegemony on a new strategic technology such as artificial intelligence. What have we been talking about, right? Number one threat. And criticized Washington's sanctions against Huawei and ZTE, Although the highway sanctions, they're kind of easing up. That's why I thought they might be bringing them to the table, because they were easing up on the highway. They were talking about, lifting some of that off of there. But apparently China would rather have a cyber war instead of working with us. At least that's the way it appears. Okay? So that's one thing. Always think critically and think of who benefits, how, what. It's difficult to figure it all out, but once you start to do that and start to read things in that way, you'll find yourself figuring things out quicker. But real, like deep intelligence, you won't know until it happens. You can only hope to get a clue, and good luck with that. Mawei reportedly stressed that cooperation between the two countries would help tackle such threats and pressures. According to Iran state media, the ministers discussed ways to boost cooperation in the field of information technology and countering threats in cyberspace, and agreed to establish a joint work group to survey and counter those threats. Basically, this is exactly what I'd be doing from what I did in the military. Outside of the cyber, I'd be more so intercepting and breaking code. In May, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi told the media after meeting his Iranian counterpart Mohammad Javad Zarif that China is strongly opposed to U.S. unilateral sanctions and its prejudgments. China understands Iran's conditions and concerns and safeguards its legitimate interests. Although some of the language can be interpreted as referencing mainstream non-military IT interests, the context is entirely cybersecurity related and comes as tensions continue to intensify and the cyber domain becomes ever more important. Putting any theoretical risk from North Korea, handshakes included, to one side, the greatest threats to the security of the U.S. and its allies came from Russia, China, Iran. The same is true when it comes to cybersecurity. China and Russia have long been the world's greatest villains, but Iran fancies a seat at the table. This is basically telling you who's got the best cyber war, and that's exactly what we've been in. We've been in one of these. We've been in it for years. Okay, all those the U.S. ships crashing into docks and merchant ships. That doesn't happen. All right, trust me, that doesn't happen. That's not a normal occurrence. It happened like so many times in a row. They would be messed with some kind of cyber electronic war, and there's been just tit for tat. We'll do something with them, mess with some of their stuff. We've had planes go down. We've had some of that might have been done by the deep state, but also by our enemies. Mess with the planes. If they can break a code, if they can, which is what we're going to get to right now. So while they're talking about the U.S. and Iran shaking hands and becoming partners in a cyber war against us, and we know that Russia is there as well. Once this is over, I have something interesting to show you. From a military perspective, there are clear links. Russia supplies weapons and proxy sponsorships to the Middle East, and China is now reportedly eyeing a more significant military role in the region. China and Russia also have blamed the U.S. for its escalating tensions with Iran. You hear that? We knew Russia was, but China is too. If you didn't know that. They're saying we're at fault. You know why I think that? I think that little oil tanker thing, there's more to it. There's more to it. And I'm not saying it's FF in the way that you think, that I think it was actually done potentially by a country like Russia or something like a planned thing. It's just weird that the Japanese, there was a Japanese oil tanker and the leader of Japan was into Iran at the time. That's what blows my mind. That's why it might have been a message, because they're a huge ally as well. Forgot to mention them. Surprise. Meanwhile, the continued integration of cyber and conventional warfare has been thrust into the headlines this year, also in the Middle East. Israel launched a missile strike to retaliate for an offensive cyber strike. while the U.S. did the opposite, responding to Tehran's downing of a surveillance drone with a cyber strike against the country's missile control systems, which is way worse than killing 150. I mean, I have value for human life, but as far as what Iran would rather, they would much rather the strike than the cyber strike. Trust me. In the conventional domain, spillover from the battlefield into the real world comes in form of insurgency and terrorism. It is difficult to plan and execute, and it usually fails. In the cyber domain, attacks can be mounted on soft targets worldwide with relative ease. Iran is learning this fast. The warning issued by U.S. Cyber Command in the wake of a strike on Iran was to outlook users that a likely Iranian hack was targeting millions of unpatched systems. Iran doesn't need to counter hard targets to hit back. Last month, Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, the CISA, within the DHS, issued a blanket warning about a recent rise in malicious cyber activity directed at the United States industries and government agencies by Iranian regime actors and proxies, using destructive wiper attacks. We've read basically this exact thing before, and it's not just the U.S. The U.K. blamed Iran for a concerted cyber attack last December on major government and commercial organizations, which probably explains why UK just did what they did by taking that tanker, right? It all makes sense, right? I'm telling you, there's been this electronic cyber war going on for a long time. Now, I think there was more to this sub and what it was doing that caused whatever to happen, which I think was something caused by us, it could have even been a signal sent upstream, but some kind of attack where we, put the very expensive nuclear capable 25 manned can go down 4 times the depth of a normal sub, prize sub down. I know it's at dock, but it's damaged, and I think it'll be all hands lost, because you would think they would be, they were exposed to radiation. No, it's a nuclear. I mean, I get where they have to go. I don't know. And there's all kinds of the gases would kill most of them before they even burn. You got to worry about radiation in that situation too. So let's just read this last. Actually, this is interesting. Iran's ability to retaliate against the U.S. government is limited, but Tehran has proven to be ultimate pragmatists when it comes to finding ways to tackle the threat of the U.S. Lining up China's cyber support would certainly fit that bill. You got that right. Offensive cyber capabilities have long been the most sensitive and nationalistic of government activities. Very true. Clouded in secrecy and deniability, and plausible deniability. Sometimes they don't even tell the president for that reason, so he can be plausible deniable. He can deny it plausibly. If Iran finds Beijing open for business beyond rhetoric and public support, and can genuinely tap into China's expertise to become the ultimate cyber proxy against the U.S., the dynamics of that particular conflict will change significantly. And I think that is the news of the day, believe it or not. I think that's the nugget. The fact that, we've been killing them in the cyber war. But China's been kind of poking us this whole time. They're most likely behind whatever, because our ships were in the South China Sea. What a coincidence, when a lot of this stuff happened. So it's pretty obvious who was doing it. Same thing as one of the planes, South China Sea. A lot of stuff's happening in the South China Sea. Them claiming certain land and that being challenged, and all of a sudden people's controls and the electronics acting out. So that's something that I think we have to keep in mind, because when I was just talking about that sub, this is what that sub. Is that it? No. Here we go. telling you, it's a silent war. If you watch a lot of my past videos, I keep talking about this silent war. It's a cyber war. Come on, load up. Is that it? No, it's not it. Here we go. Alright, I got you here. Here we go. So, this seems to make no sense to me. Exactly. Now that we're looking back on Russia.
I would like to clear up.
As far as the U.S. ship, I'm not going to comment any further. But then again, you wouldn't hear anything anywhere. All right, when the U.S. Intelligence is tight. You're not going to hear about anything. You're not going to find it on YouTube. You know what I mean? You might be able to find little clues that can lead you to make theories, or you can kind of like, just read along and kind of understand at least what's going on and understand who is where and why the cyber war will now be a lot more difficult. We will not be so demanding. If China is all of a sudden putting full efforts in with Iran, that makes it a lot more difficult for us. We're on two fronts at that point in a cyber sense against a formidable enemy. But as far as the Sharik class submarine, this is as close to the truth as I've gotten. I tried to contact this guy. I couldn't get permission to do his video. But look at this. This is what I think was going on at the bed of the floor. And some type of upstream thing that would spark and cause a fire, or the sub actually shot something, but it's more like instead of a torpedo, something that would cause an electrical fire. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. And we'll probably never find out. We knew there was a U.S. submarine that was downed actually years ago, not even too long ago, and we didn't find out about it until like 20 years later. Well, not even, like 15 years later. Submarines are extremely. It's some of the highest sensitive machines in the military, period. Outside of maybe something like HOPS doing. Submarines are very, very, everything about it is sensitive. Everybody on a submarine, basically. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure they all at least have some type of clearance, but they might even all have the same clearance I have, the top secret. I was actually, when I was doing, I was working in the mountain, inside a mountain in Hawaii, doing my job as a cryptologist. At the same time, I was direct support to the Pacific Fleet submarines. So if one of them ever needed a crypto, something happened, I would be one of the ones to go. So that never happened. I never ended up going. I heard that it sucks, but it's also an honor. Being on a sub like that sucks for as long as you're down there. And the thing is, you can't tell your family how long. You can tell your family sometimes like 6 months but with this, you don't know, and you can't tell them anything. So that if you got splicing encrypted command and control cables, that's what I think was going on. Let me play some.
Another aspect of the story regarding the submarine, the Russian submarine, the accident that killed 14 sailors. Many people think that what you're about to see here is the biggest threat from a submarine. This is I believe one of their Kilo class, maybe it's a Yasm class.
Alright, we have permission, that's right, huh?
Firing caliber cruise missiles.
I don't think you might. Look at that.
Into Syria. The biggest threat that's going to come from one of these submarines is cutting
Look at that.
cables. And I'm going to try to explain that for you today. I know it doesn't seem like that would be the case, but truly it is. And what they do, and this is an important aspect of this that I need everyone to understand, is they don't just go out and cut the cable and then sail away and go, ha ha ha, we cut off your internet, and then wait.
Hope you guys are listening. I don't care about monetization, I want the truth.
For a repair ship to go out there and fix it. What they do is this, and here's the important part. cut one section of cable and it goes down.
Yeah, this will be demonetized. But listen to this guy. If anybody wants to help, super chat. There's that, and the best way is really through PayPal. It's in the description. If anybody would like to donate.
Then they go.
Here comes some good
5,
info.
10, 15 miles downrange on the cable, and they cut it again. But this time, they put in a tapping device. See, with the cable down, nobody knows what the hell's going on from the first cut. They put this tapping device on that can't be detected other than by their own technology. Then, of course, the repair ship shows up at some point, fixes the original first cut,
and if that doesn't work, you can try the phone number for the call-in, 774-303-5555, in the PayPal if you want to donate. I just thought I'd use this as a time to say all that type of crap. And also, please, everybody, hit like, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe if you want to continue to get real intel. I don't care about the monetization, If you guys want to help me in other ways, that's fine. But I want to get you guys the truth. And when I find it, this is what happened with that sub. They were splicing the cables, tapping into our command and control cables. Or attempting to, at least. And I've even heard crazier theories that because they're doing research. Now this is totally, I think this is actually fact, but we can't call it fact because it's not confirmed. But this is suggestive, right? We try to stick to the fact in the show, so this is suggestive. What I'm showing you, what I'm telling you right now, is totally theoretical, with some, educatedly theoretical. They also, these ships, they do research. Well, a very highly recommended Quake YouTuber who does just Quakes, does other stuff, but just Quakes really. Quakes is his thing. Mentioned that sub could have caused some type of something to happen with the fault that would have spread down, and that's why we got that. We got a hit like up in Alaska or something like that, and then days later it was that hit in 5.2 or 5.4 that hit. You guys know what I'm talking about. More in Northern California. It hit over there near we've been following the of course we've been following the dam, the Oroville Dam, like just south of that is where it hit, I believe, in that area. And then boom, the LA one, and then the aftershock. They said 5%. There'll be a bigger. Sure enough, there was a bigger one. Now it's not just 5%. I've heard as high as 50%. Now that blew my mind, and we're gonna look into that because that can't be right. I want to look into that before I go out saying it, but I know that the percentage now isn't 5% anymore. It was 5% for each quake. It's separate, but it can affect the next quake. So the first one is 5%, and it happened. Now it's going to be more than 5%, and we're going to hunt down that information in a second. So let us finish hearing about this sub and what it was doing, and wow, we probably had to take it out. Could have been, if it was working with Russia, then I believe it was working with Russia. It could have been the deep state that took that out. We don't know. You have to keep an open mind about everything, and you'll be all right. Just always have an open mind.
The cable comes back up, and nobody is aware that the tapping device has been put on. This is what's happening. Because that device they put on just allows the free flow of the information. It just records it and sends it to someplace who knows. And this is what Russia has been trying to do, is get their own private network that has access to all of the information in real time with nothing being hidden with cryptographs or with any type of encryption.
Pretty amazing, huh? And the way that they would do that is through fiber optic cables. You know, as a cryptologist, I can tell you that we would intercept messages, frequencies, sent to the satellite, back down a satellite, or a satellite into another satellite, intercept them, right? But sometimes the most secure communications, like what we're talking about here, command and control, will actually be fiber optic cables. They have them all under DC, just in case, like the White House needs to talk to the State House and it's like an emergency. There's some type of, I don't even, the thing is, I never learned that in the military, and I just know that it's there. I just know it. It has to be. So I don't know it from experience, but there is these fiber optic cables that are secure communications, and it sounds like the Russians must have been messing with some that we have out in Alaska. So who knows? We could have them going, most likely, because that's where this sub would be, at the depths that are amazing. It's one of the most amazing things about the sub is on the floor of the ocean. It's a pretty safe place to put it, but who knows? Maybe the Russians have been tapping it, and then when we come to fix it, we actually activate it. It's very interesting to me. I don't know about you guys.
That's why that's going to be a problem, because what happens is, since 99% of our military's encrypted information goes through these cables, the concept of mutually assured destruction goes away, because the commands can be intercepted. They can be intercepted and shut down. So this Losharik works in tandem with a vessel called the Yantar, which has its own submersibles, which does the exact same thing. And while I just call it research vessels,
they always say research.
Everything that's going on happens at such
I've been saying that for days. This is they call it research.
Really track it.
Yeah, bull.
Even if you
Am I live? You guys see me? Yeah, you guys can see me. Alright. So, you see, when you're over the target, you see what happens? Let me make sure that I'm even muted. I'm not unmuted. Let me see. Alright, everything should be good. Let me see. Let me make sure. Alright, yeah, everything's in place. But, do you guys see what I mean? Do you see that? They just stopped my transmission. They just messed up my... I've been on this page the whole time, reading articles. And they messed with my OBS system. They changed the encoder number and stopped the stream. That's crazy. I was live the whole time. If I was to do that, I was screen sharing. You guys would see me. You know what I mean? Like, let's say I did it by accident. No, that's unbelievable. So, wow. So, at what point? The thing is, I was going on, and I was making all these connections. At what point did it go out? How long was it out for? Maybe I could tell by fast forwarding it. I could tell. Oh, I see. So right over here. Hold on, guys. Hope you guys listen. When I'm not in the military,
usually assured destruction goes away because the commands can be...
I don't know. How long was it buffering for? So you guys heard everything I had to say, right? How I connected it all. As far as there is a true alliance with Russia and Iran, despite this S-400 BS, that propaganda I sent you. Now, there's something important to be said here. I am obviously an American. I obviously served in the United States military, but at the same time, I'm not blind to what's really going on. You know, there are forces that are trying to force the U.S. into war. And one of those forces, one of our strongest allies, especially in that region. You know, but the thing is, you know, every time you say it, it's almost like you're saying it about that whole group of people, and that's just not the case. They're fake. They are about something else. I believe that this is also a spiritual thing. And we don't exactly have all the greatest intentions on some of our wings of our alliance. So all we have to do is just, you know, ignore the cries and begs of war, and that's exactly what Trump's doing. Instead, we'll have a cyber war, because that's exactly what's been going on. But and China's been in it. I mean, they were doing electronic crap to our ships and airplanes years ago, 3 years ago. It was happening all the time, and they were like, "All right." And when they shut down Boeing, you think that was just for the passengers? No, it had to do with maybe some of the military stuff. Maybe even I don't know what their connection is to the F-35A. But the F-35A started having problems. One of the ones that the Japanese bought actually disappeared over the ocean. It's gone. So there was some problems with the F-35As at the time. Seems to be fixed. Now Poland made a big purchase. Now there's a big problem with the S-400 potentially going there, or that it did go there, which has caused some provocations now from Russia. And it's like a chess game, while at the same time all trying to be the first to know if the other is making a move and counter move. And it's interesting to watch, and we've been kind of going through it. I just worry that some of the information from some of the older videos get missed, because you get new viewers and they just see this and they don't understand that we've already kind of broken down aspects to it. So I suggest watching certain videos that relate to the subject, and many subjects. And now, as I promised, we are going to check out something that blew my mind, because I know that I want to talk about now we're going to talk about the quake. Quake goes from 5% to, that should give us a good result. Because it's not 5%. It's not. Basically, the 5% chance is something bigger would happen. Now, it's still horrible, but thankfully it was a 7.1. It wasn't much high. Like a 9 or something that would be total devastation. But like I said, I don't know, and I'm not a seismologist, so I don't pretend to know. When it comes to things like that, I always refer places that I go that they know what they're talking about, and like I did last night, Dutchsinse, if you want to learn about that. But basically, as far as it was supposed to be a 5% chance. Let me see. They're saying now that the 6.4 could have been a pre-shock instead of an aftershock, which is interesting. So I'm trying to see here the 5% when they talk about how it was. Oh, look at that. I had an even better video than that from the library in the town that it's been hitting, that I was sent. Okay. Here are the odds that there will be strong earthquakes. Alright, so 5% chance again for a 7.1 but a 39% chance of a 6.0 or higher. So almost 50-50 that there will now be another 6.0 or higher. And of that 39%, 5% that it'll go beyond the 7.1 that's already happened. So, you know, the odds have increased dramatically, obviously. And it makes you wonder. You know, like this could just be natural. Obviously, it most likely is. But is it possible for, you know, us to do something to cause these things? I believe so, because most of what goes on with the real higher ups and the military and the elites is done underground. There's a whole underground system. You're getting nothing but truth. And I backed that up in other old videos. I'd have to search it right now, but that's a very close-knit one. They kind of, that you don't hear about that, but yeah, there's underground bases that just aren't listed. There's all kinds of stuff. I was on an underground base, but it was like known. I mean, known to people that would care to know, but yeah, and it's not classified. At one point it was a hangar. It's basically, we walk up these stairs and then we go into the middle of the mountain, and we will go about 3/4 mile, maybe a mile down. Officers would take golf carts, unless they would walk. There'd be like so many checkpoints before you even get there. So many checkpoints throughout the tunnel. Your blue badge. You go in and you do your job, and you go to your floor, and it's pretty cool. But you know, there's stuff like that all over. So you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some type of capability to cause something, but we wouldn't want to cause it. Who would want to cause it? Would Russia? I don't know. Maybe. With the deep state? Absolutely. You kidding me? The worse the disaster, the better the result for them. You know, I mean, that's the Hegelian dialect. I mean, create problem and create solution. And another thing, guys. One thing that's being overlooked is there are these earthquake zones right next. Volcanic zones right next to where these earthquakes have gone off that are now becoming very active. The earth is speaking. The volcanic zones are becoming active and moving, and the lava flow has already came down on one of them, and it's like, you know, there's like volcanic area, and it's very active right now. I wonder if that's what they're talking about right here. And also there's a super volcano there, the Long Valley Caldera. And there has been, with these like small volcanic zones, they've been active. We are not anticipating these events will cause a big earthquake on the San Andreas Fault. So there's all these you know, different ideas about what's going to happen. Let me just close with I just want to see what the percentages were. So 39, basically 40% chance that there will be something 6.0 or higher. Now, the thing is, the more earthquakes that happen, as bad as it is, the more they will learn about its origin and where it's heading, or if it's over, or why, or all that. They can tell so much. How much they actually tell us, that's another thing. We're going to have to dig for that and rely on some of the truth communities, experts in that field, such as Dutchsinse. I don't know why I got him up. Sorry, Mouth, didn't mean to. But yeah, check him out, guys. He's great. Okay, why am I here? Why does he keep popping up? Alright. Oh, because because he put up something that I was looking at. Alright, what's his, shoot. Sorry, guys. Let me see. Where is this guy? Always putting up some good intel. But sometimes he goes too much with the Q. Oh, and that's another thing. I'm gonna be doing a video on Antifa that'll blow your mind. I think I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm also working on a lot of studies with 5G, as well as other things. So, oh, what did Dutchsinse say? Wow, I just happened to see Dutchsinse. Let's see what he says. Now, usually I'm not really a Twitter guy, you know, that's why I don't really have followers. I don't really do all this, but you do get information the quickest this way. If you want to find something like breaking, you're not going to find it anywhere else, and you go to Twitter and you'll find it everywhere. Someone just tried to have my wife and I swatted, killed. Whoa. Whoa. I've mentioned his name 3 times. Is this serious? Couple problems with that. One, we don't have a home phone at this address. Can't believe they tried to get me shot. I'm going to see if I can get a copy of 911 call. Whoa. They just try to take out Dutchsinse? Is this real? What is going on? Someone just tried to have my wife and I swatted / killed. You know what? Let me put. I'm gonna do a little switcheroo here on the title, cause this is breaking. Hey, come on. What are we doing here? Was it shot at? Was he shot at? It said shot at, right? Or swatted? I think he's saying he was shot at, right? That's basically what he's saying. Alright, I'm going to put that in. I'm going to read it again. I don't want to misrepresent him. But did he not just basically say he was shot at? They took an attempt to... It was him and his wife, and they were going for him. Someone just talking about when I swatted, killed. Couple problem with that one. We don't have a home. Maybe I'll switch that up. I don't really like that shot at, because it didn't really say anything about getting shot at. Let me change that. Dutchsinse, I like to, you know, I'm not into, you know, just writing things just to get people, you know, clickbait crap. I want to write what I'm actually talking about. So Dutchsinse. That's not too many letters. Alright, good. That's amazing. So, what's the update? I mean, he has so many followers. I mean, what's going on? Does he say more? Yeah. Now I need to know. Where do you go? Okay, here we go. And he's saying, NWO, desperate scum, evil. I mean, this guy, he's like very educated, you know. I believe he even used word is. I just heard this from somebody. This is more like a rumor. It's not fact. I try to always do that. But I heard that he used to like work as a meteorologist somewhere. Someone had told me that. I don't know if that's true. I wouldn't be surprised. And look at what his last tweet was. I'll show you how to forecast an earthquake so you can do it yourself and test the method. The world calls in a SWAT hit on Dutchsinse. I don't think Trump would like that. So, wow. So, alright, what's going on here? Where do we have more action? Right here. Alright, let's see what we got. Sorry guys, but this is pretty interesting. If you guys don't know him, he's a smart man. He's not the type to just say anything. There's some reason on the side of you earthquake forecasting. It makes him appear unhinged crazy. It does, and it is an attempt. For him to come out and now say it, it's an attempt to make them look crazy. I'm sure that a lot of us, we're all critical thinkers, right? So I'm sure a lot of us maybe thought, did that really happen? Or is that like a publicity stunt? Sometimes your mind will go there. Even if you end up not believing it, your mind will go there. I mean, that's, you know, if this happened, which I don't have to see any reason why not to believe him. From, you know, I've listened to him for a while, and he's always straight up, and you know, I don't know. We're having a crazy storm here right now. Crazy thunderstorm, by the way, here in Boston. Alright, wasn't that crazy?
What?
Did you want to look at the lightning?
Yeah.
Crazy thunderstorm here. This might be the storm. But that's interesting.
It's all soft over there. That was a dumb idea.
I just wanted to see what people are saying. Is this legit? Yeah, so guys, let's say a prayer for him, because, you know, I'm not into guilt to tune in and calling someone a liar, you know? I mean, it's pretty detailed. He's getting the copy of the 911 call. Let's say a prayer for Dutchsinse. It looks like they're after him. And, you know, I've had things happen to me, but it's just, you know, electronically, like, I'll be targeted when I'm sleeping. I get, like, these shocks and stuff. It's crazy. But a lot of people know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a large community of people that get these shocks. And it's not a medical thing. When you go to the doctor, they send you to a neurologist and another, and they find nothing, and it continues to happen. There's so many of us online that have that. He's put it out there, so I guess I can say it, but even when I was talking to Rich from Boston, he gets it. We were talking about that as well, how we both get these shocks at night. And then obviously, you know, kind of messed with the computer, shut you down. Nothing too major. I'm a small channel, but you know, with the truth of a large channel, they just hold me down. Every single video is demonetized, and then what I do is I you know, challenge it, and 3 days later they're like, oops, oh no, your video was fine. It's okay to be monetized. But by then, all of the views have happened, you know? So it's like, not only do you lose the revenue, but I worry about the viewers losing that information. There's a lot of information in there. And if it's not monetized, it doesn't get pushed up. Like, this video won't be monetized. I mean, they already tried to shut it down. You know, it's not going to be monetized. So it's not going to be promoted. Unless it's liked, shared. That's the only way it gets promoted a little bit. But when it's not monetized, some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, are you saying 7.1 just happened? Peace war? Yeah, swatted. Yeah, but I think he's using that as like a term, like you know, take him out, swat him, you know, take him out. Wow, Kelly. So you went through that yesterday? Wow. Yeah. Yep. I mean, he's big enough. I'm a small channel, so they see that I'm talking about certain things. Boom. See you later. They don't even. It's already demonetized before I even start. Put it that way. No matter what I do. There was one video that didn't get monetized. It was like just me talking on the cell phone when I had no computer. When they took down 2 computers in that short amount of time. And with the BIOS chip, and I showed you guys and everything. And that's the only one that went through monetized. And for a while, I just refused to do monetization. So someone was like, "Then nobody's gonna see your videos." You know what I mean? It doesn't promote your video if you're not monetized. I'm like, oh, then I should do it. It's not that much money. It's like you get like pennies for a video. It's nothing. I mean, if you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, then yeah, those pennies turn to dollars and big dollars. But no notification, huh? See, I could tell because at first, like, I did get some people, but I didn't get everybody. So let me check this out. Something that's being said in chat. So I just want to check this out. Are you sure it's not old news? I mean, because 7.1, it's for second. Wait. No. I think that you're. Wait. No. Yeah, no. This is talking about. Thank you for redirecting everybody to a different channel. I hate when people do that on my chat because I'm not stupid, you know. I don't like that. Like, I allow everybody to put one thing. If they want to put a link or a song, I know some people like to put song. You can do one. But if you're continuously doing that, so yeah, all that was whoever posted the 7.1. That's the old news, you know. That's old news. You know, we've talked about that. That was the 7.1 that we've been talking about. There wasn't another one right now. No, I just wanted to check it though, just in case. All right, so that's what I got for today. Like I said, keep an open mind to everything. Think critically. Tonight, you guys need to see this. Antifa has big plans, and guess who got them? Your boy. So come get your Pez, Red Pill Dispensary. God bless you guys. And I usually don't do hand symbols because then somebody will say, "Oh, yeah, he's a Illuminati."